Welcome to Holistic Human Performance Podcast. My name is Gena Bradshaw, where we talk all things holistic health, wellness, spirituality, fitness, meditation, energetics, and so much more to help you become the healthiest version of yourself. Let's dive in. This is not medical advice. This is simply to help you on your journey through health, fitness, and wellness. I hope this helps. You can complement this with anything that you are doing currently in your life. Enjoy. What the holistic human performance community has turned into is something beyond words. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. And I wanted to talk about what the community is all about. And really, it just started with me going through a really low time in life, where I did not have my health as a 2-time cancer survivor. And I really leaned into holistic health, that lifestyle, changing everything about it. Really taking a deep dive into energy medicine and spirituality and combining all of these different aspects of mind, body, and soul together that helped me heal on a deep level. And now I am following out my soul's mission and purpose and bringing this to you all. And so I want to invite you inside of the holistic human performance community. We have an app, which is the HHP app on Apple and Google Play, which you can also get all of these goodies on the desktop as well. And really what you're going to find inside of this community, I call it the Virtual Wellness Center. It's going to be all about holistic health, spirituality, energetics, all different practices, tools, modalities. So we have things like sound bath meditations, we have breath work, we have tapping series, we have workouts, we have somatic healing, we have masterclass series, we have programs. I have other professionals come on inside of the app to teach. So there's so many cool things you get inside of this community. And so I wanted to give this to you all as a membership. And what you're getting is a monthly membership where you have 300 plus on-demand videos, plus live stream classes and programs and courses. You're literally getting all of these incredible tools to take with you wherever, whenever you need. And so for $33 per month, you get access to this. Or you can do annual, which is $320 for the year. You're getting all of this inside of the Holistic Human Performance Virtual Wellness Center. And not only that, you could try it out for 1 week free and cancel whenever you want. So these are things that are going to help reprogram your subconscious mind, you regulate your nervous system, keep you healthy and navigating life with full life force energy, and really helping you to express yourself authentically while also enhancing your health and your well-being so that you can find and follow your soul's mission and purpose. So I invite you inside of this community. It is so beautiful and juicy. And not to mention, we have a whole section inside of the app where it is a community forum so we can chat with each other and talk about our wins, what we're going through, and so much more. And I don't know if I mentioned, if you are a one-on-one coaching client, you get full access to the entire Virtual Wellness Center membership. So I invite you inside of the HHP community. Again, you can get your week free trial on Apple or Google Play or right on your desktop at holistichumanperformance.co. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Holistic Human Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Gena Bradshaw Vitale, and today we have a dear friend with us. We have a special guest. We have Stephanie Brand, aka the Skin Jeanie. By the way, for those of you who loved my bridal look, she did my makeup, so shout out to her. And what she does, she helps people discover their inner and outer beauty by incredibly rewarding and transformative ways. She combines assisting a bride on her special day, achieving clear skin for the first time, navigating hormonal changes, or simply finding the right path. She does all things beauty and wellness. So I'm really excited to have her on the podcast today. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hi.
Hey girl, what's going on?
Nothing. I'm happy that we're inside. It's freezing out.
It's so cold where we're at. Anybody who's on the Northeast knows that it's absolutely freaking cold outside.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into it today. Let's start off with just like how you even got into the beauty industry. There's always a story. I love me a
Yeah.
good story. So let's chat about how you even got into the beauty industry.
Yeah, of course there's always a story. So although I didn't suffer from severe acne, I suffered from severe ugly duckling syndrome. So I
I'm
had
sorry,
braces.
but I can't even imagine that for you.
I was the girl that had the braces, the short bobbed hair. All the boys made fun of her. I got my boobs really early, so people were like, "Oh, she stuffs." All the things that like really just
Aww.
torture you as a kid. And I really never felt like pretty enough in my own skin. Kids are mean and they still
Yeah.
do it and it's horrible. And then when you have a pimple, right? You want to hide in the locker room for the rest of the day. And I never will forget the first time I had one. I'm sure everybody remembers their first one. And I really was like, this this sucks. Like I don't want people to feel like this. I would always stick up for the kids in school. So what better way to then, originally I went to beauty school to just do makeup because, I wanted to cover everybody's pimples. And then I fell in love with skin because you have to take the aesthetics course, first if you really want to be licensed to do makeup. That's just a certification. So kind of how I got into it.
Gotcha.
Feeling like that sucks. So I don't want people to feel like that ever.
I feel you on that. I had braces. I had really, really bad acne growing up. Like, I think
Really?
it was like, yeah, like middle school. I know why though. It was from like what I went through as a kid, like all of the medications and things like that. And then kind of like
Yeah.
not, my mom did the best she could with in terms of like helping me detox like my body, but like plus like all the hormonal changes and stuff. Yeah, so I had really bad acne starting earlier on, and then I think around like probably like sophomore year in high school, it like cleared up, braces came off, and I started to feel better again. But the self-esteem, especially as like a young girl, a teenage girl, like it's tough.
Yeah, it's so tough. And even like now, I ended up suffering with cystic acne later on in my life.
Oh, really?
Being on birth control suppresses that, which, then you come off of it. And a lot of us have a form of PCOS or insulin resistance dormant.
Yeah.
I also have one autoimmune Crohn's. So when you usually have one, you have another somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I had severe cystic acne at like 18, 19. And then I kind of went away, and now I still get it, in my 30s, being off
Yeah.
birth control. So it sucks. And it's just something that I was always like, hey, I want to, fix all this
Yeah.
for whoever I can.
So what kind of like, because you kind of combine like the beauty and wellness together.
Yeah.
So kind of like I'm assuming from your own journey of like these hormonal disruptions, like what was something that really helped you? You came off birth control. That's like, oh my God, so
Oh,
toxic.
that's huge.
Don't
Yeah.
even get me started on
That
birth
could be a
control,
whole nother
guys.
day.
That's a whole other freaking topic and hours of an episode.
Yeah.
Um, but like, what was like your first move? Like when you came off birth control, how did you get that under wraps? Like, how did you start getting healthy? What did you do for yourself?
Well, I went down the rabbit hole of horrifying doctors first and big
Yeah,
pharma and all that nonsense, getting diagnosed with something. I had to beat down the doors to certain endocrinologists. Then, I was getting passed back and forth to my gyno, to my endo. I mean, the whole nine. So
yeah,
finally I said, can we curse on this?
yeah,
Finally I said, fuck this. And I was
yeah,
like, I need to really know what the fuck's wrong with me. I didn't want to leave my house. I was depressed. My hair was falling out. I had huge pimples, like things.
yeah,
But then I also remembered, being a medical esthetician and having clients who would come in and they would have all these symptoms. I knew their diagnosis was PCOS, and there's a bunch of different forms of it, right? You could be very overweight with, pimples and your hair falling out and different things. And then you could be really skinny. There's so many different types. So I was like, do I have it? Do I not have it? Like, what's going on with you? But you know your body, right? So you're like,
Yeah.
what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Um, so that's really kind of how I figured it out. And then finally, one endocrinologist, I beat down the door and I was like, listen, you don't even pull the right file when I come in here. I'm like, I want you to do one last test. It was a glucose test. And they had seen, that my insulin had spiked. So of course, when I went into the doctor's office, I could barely understand her. And she, just murmured, oh, you have PCOS. And I said, okay, what? Like, what do you mean?
Like, what
And
is
then
that? Yeah.
they're like, hey, you want to go on this injection? You want this? You want that? I'm like, no, like, I want to know how to fix it real. So thankfully, my insurance did cover a dietitian,
Oh,
nutritionist
good.
with them, and she helped guide me a lot with everything. So shout out to her. I don't even know her first name, but I think she went out on her own. But anyway, she worked for the office. It was a big office, and she really helped me. She was like, listen, go gluten free, go dairy free.
Mm.
We need to get you on supplements immediately. I was highly, insufficient in vitamin D, which a lot of women are, and they have
Mm-hmm.
no clue,
Mm-hmm.
which causes depression, anxiety. I was, drinking 5 cups of coffee before I even had an egg.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? Like I woke up, I went right, guns blazing, all the
Yeah.
things, just like women do, and then I was like, oh, this 30-30-30 method of wake up, get sunlight in your face right away, 30 minutes of exercise, have 30 grams of protein,
Yeah.
and then you can have your coffee, because if you start your day in fight or flight with your cortisol raising, it's not good.
It's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like I see that so much with women. It's like
Yeah.
scary. And then when I
Yeah.
tell them I'm working with them and I tell them, listen, babe, we I'm not telling you to cut the coffee. We'll
Right.
get there, but like you need to eat before you have coffee. And they're like, "What?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Like
Listen,
we
I
I'm
I
not kidding.
couldn't talk to anybody before I had coffee. I was one
Yeah.
of those people. But when I found out that I was starting my day in that fight or flight anxiety ridden, like all day, and then I felt, chunky all day, inflamed. I'm like, why do I have this pooch? What's going
Yeah.
on? The minute I started incorporating that, I mean, my skin got better, my hair started growing back in, with other supplements. But
Yeah.
it really does make a difference. I can focus, I can start my day, with a clear head. I'm not like brain fogged. So it's crazy. And then what else did I go on? Dim, which is a great supplement.
Dim.
Um,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like an old, ancient Egyptian remedy. It's completely holistic. And I take that, which regulates your endocrine system, whether you have menopause, whether you suffer from PCOS or any forms of hormone problems. It's great for women. So I really just started to like dive deep in books and my own, type of stuff, meeting with you with, the aloe vera shots and the castor oil packs and things like that.
Yes.
I really was like, how else can I do this without it being big pharmatized and all those other things?
I love that you just like being in the beauty industry because I've spoken to a lot of I love like I'm not like I don't wear a lot of makeup or anything. I'm very like minimalist when it comes to that, but I love just the beauty industry in general.
Yeah.
And when I do talk to other women who are and men too who are in the industry, but like who suffer from hormonal disruptions, whatever it may be. I love that you said you started like internally. You
Yeah.
didn't like, you know what I mean? I feel like so many people, they would cover it up. Like the skin is one of the largest organs in the
Hmm.
body, and it's an internal job. Like whatever's coming out and being protruded onto your skin is from the inside,
Yeah.
okay?
With all the systems, not just one, everything.
All the systems work together. So I love that you mentioned that. Now, let's talk about how you because I love to talk about entrepreneurship. Let's
Yeah.
talk about how you got into like starting your own business like in the beauty and wellness industry because you kind of combine the two and you're not
Yeah.
just an esthetician, you're a medical esthetician.
Yeah.
So let's chat about that.
So the first job I had right out of beauty school was a med spa, right? And I learned a lot there, but I also worked for some shade balls. So I
Yeah.
learned very quickly what I didn't want to be like. You know, I'd have women coming from the Hamptons in the city driving all this way, and then the laser would be gone. I'm like, where the fuck's the laser? Like, this
Yeah.
woman just bought a $1,200 package. I had to learn very quickly how to make up to these women and kind of be my own boss or manager in the moment in the room. So they didn't leave a bad review or they didn't, not come. And, I started building relationships with people that way. And then I kind of got a little turned off by the whole medical side of it just from being there. I was like, I don't really know if I want to do this just from being around those people and the owners and things like that. So I went back and I got certified for lashes and I opened my first business in a small room. I rented, in the back. It was in a hair salon and I was able to build cross clientele that way and I did cross promoting and I only did lashes. And then my back was cracking into at 22 years old because all I would do was just lashes all day. And I'm
Yeah.
also someone that was like, okay, now I miss the medical side of it. And although I was making, women feel great with lashes, I was like, they started asking me about their skin and all these other questions, So then I went and opened my own place at a Salons by JC Suite in Bayshore.
Hmm.
And I was not a storefront. I was like, how the hell am I going to grow? I was doing well, but no one was walking into my room. I had to work really hard. I had no clue about social media. I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I
Yeah.
went back, of course, I had like a 3 hour cancellation one day. I didn't have any policies in place. I'm like, oh, that's like $1,200. It's my rent for where I'm renting. I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I called the school and I was like, listen, do you offer microblading? Yes, I go down, I sign up for the class immediately. I'm like, okay, this is going to help me grow. There, I met a woman who was my teacher, and she latched onto me and three girls very quickly, and kind of mentored us into opening a bigger business in Merrick area, and we did. It was a gorgeous place. We all took out loans, and we opened it with her, and I had no clue who the hell I got in bed with.
Mm.
So here we go, fast forward to that. I walked away from about $50,000 in a dream with my parents begging me not to sign a contract. And I had no clue what was going on, who I was in bed with. I didn't know how I was going to get paid, make money. I didn't know any of it. So I'm like, bye, I'm out. I just want my light and my lash stuff. And I'm not going to court over paint. And, I took a step back from the whole beauty industry and I took care of my grandmother who had then got diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Mm.
And the woman, anytime she was my grandmother would say, Stephanie, what are you doing? Like, why are you not doing, hair and makeup? Why are you not, you always, I would do it on her and I would do it on me, but I just so turned off by it. And,
Yeah.
those moments that she said that to me, I'm like, okay, I have to, like, this is my calling. So I went back to the school that I graduated from. I started teaching right before COVID and I absolutely fell in love with it. And the teaching became more of like, how do I help these girls outside of school, right? Like almost guidance counseling and teaching combined. Like one girl was getting,
Mentorship.
yeah, one girl was getting screwed over by a guy, trying to get her tires changed. I'm like, no, fuck that. You're going to go to my uncle over here. He's going to take care of you. They don't screw you. One
Yeah.
girl, got pregnant and she was like, how am I going to do this? The guy's not talking to me. Like, I just, was helping them with real life stuff. And I'm like, listen, we're going to get you graduated. We're going to get you to pass your exam. Like life happens, shit
Yeah.
happens. But like, I just went through something huge and I'm like, okay, light bulb. It could be mentoring. Also the school doesn't offer you, they just get you to your exam, right? They don't really, I mean, they offer trainings, but they're not like real deal, real life. Like I taught my class like it was a real spa and they loved it because although I followed the curriculum, I also taught them real deal shit, so then I started, coaching them one-on-one, getting them jobs, helping them build their resumes, and that slowly turned into training certification programs, which then in turn turned into like real building out their businesses from all the shit that I went through. I'm like, don't spend money, don't spend 10K here. You don't need a whole $10,000 of products. Like, let's paint your walls. We'll order the pretty chandelier that's $500 when you make your first monthly, 5K. And let's just get the doors open and let's really like, let's fine tune your menu and niche you down. And like, you don't want to waste 30 grand like I did twice.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's kind of in a ball in a nutshell how I how I kind of just, I was like, oh, the Skin Jeanie ink is born. And I called it the Skin Jeanie. Everybody thinks my name's Jeannie. But it's cute, not only did I Dream of Jeannie when I was younger, but like, I'm granting people their wishes in life and I get to go to sleep fulfilled. And so did Jeannie when, she went back in her bottle. So I kind of just was like, hey, and it's cute and brandable and I can make, cute stuff off of it. And I don't know, I'll be in
I
a
love
Jeannie
it.
bottle one day.
I love the Skin Genie.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
How did you get into like the bridal industry?
Oh, so I originally went to school for makeup.
Hmm.
And I learned very quickly that unless you're going to make makeup your full-time everyday thing, like the, beautiful, amazing girls that I subcontract with on Long Island,
Yeah,
it is a lot. It is, I mean, there are Facebook cults. The girls that are getting married, they get thrown. I mean, you just got married,
it was a
it's
lot.
overwhelming. It's almost become a sense of they go based off of these Facebook groups and it's insane. So for me, it's something that I love to do. Uh, I don't know, and I never really wanted it to be my everyday 24/7 thing because I
Yeah.
didn't want to lose my when I do a bride, I don't want to lose that. You know what I mean? And I did it for a while. I did magazine shoots. I did, all that stuff. I was like, I want to be in a union on sets, but I kind of got a little turned off by how girls in the industry were. I was a little catty, and I don't like that shit. The minute I see it, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good off of you. So I have a makeup company, and I do work with one of my best friends, Val, who did your hair, and we both kind of
Love
just,
Val. Shout out to
yeah,
Val.
we're kind of just building it, through word of mouth. It's very hard to compete with the girls that do it 24/7, 7 days a week. I absolutely love making someone feel beautiful on their wedding day, but I don't want to lose that luster and happiness for myself if I do it 7 days a week, if that makes
It's a
sense.
grind.
Yeah, and it's a lot. It's a lot of a personality you have to deal with. Thankfully, I've always gotten brides that are my client. But that is a full-time thing, and a lot of the times it's hard to pay bills that way unless you really get, into a union or again, like it's 24/7 and you started, at 15 building your business. So I kind of came into it a little late. It's something that's still building. I absolutely love it, but that's my hobby and I don't want to ruin that, you know.
Yeah, I
And that's
feel
just me
you.
being completely honest. And I'm sure there's going to be so many girls that can relate to me, that they'll do
Yeah.
a side gig that is a business, always having multiple businesses and streams of income is the right way. But the mentorship is what has my heart and my soul, and makeup is what has my love.
Yeah. Okay, so with all the experience that you have and all the things that you've done within, that like beauty industry,
Mhm.
what is some advice you have for those who are entering into the industry and want to start their own business?
Ugh. You're gonna feel all those crazy questions, and it's normal. Like you're gonna freak the fuck out. You're gonna be like, do I stay here and work for this person? I'm making $19 an hour. How am I gonna build a clientele? Do I go and get certifications? What is my niche? Do I even like skin? You're gonna go through so many highs and lows, and that's completely normal. So I want you to just know that you're very normal and you're not crazy. And if, you do need help or you do have a question and you're like, how the hell do I even start? Where do I go? Like, that's why I started the Skin Genie. You could just message me and ask me a question, and it happens every day, all day. I had one of my students actually that I helped build a business here. She opened in Patchogue and then her husband just moved to Texas. And she called me the other day and she's like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, I have a room. And I'm like, okay, well, we're rebuilding, but just in a different place. It's okay.
Yeah.
So she's like, where do I start? I go, start with what you want to be. She's like, okay, I want to be an acne expert. Okay, I go, okay, great. How many acne experts are in Texas? See what they're doing. How are we going to make you different? Oh my God, light bulb. She's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so make your brand new content about that. Just reintroduce yourself as Jess from New York who went to school here and I'm an acne expert and we offer this and build content around it.
I love that. So simple too, because it can be very overwhelming. There's a
Yeah,
lot. And I know for myself too, just being in the health and wellness industry, like I didn't start here. Where I'm at now is not where I started. I
right.
started in the fitness, sport performance, nutrition, and then I just built and built and built, learned and learned and learned, experienced different things, had different mentors, some good, some not so
Yeah.
good. And you just take all those things and you gain wisdom, you gain experience, and then you follow kind of like that. I call it the soul pull. Like, where is your soul pulling you? Where are you being guided? What's like your love? Because you can make money doing what you love. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, of course. Yes.
You can.
100%.
It just might not happen as quickly as you think. It might
Right.
not happen overnight.
Exactly. Exactly. 100%. That's why I never stopped my makeup business because just because I'm not, I don't have, 100,000 followers on my page and, I'm not, charging $3,000 for an application does not mean that I am not a good makeup
Yeah.
artist. I
Right.
just I just, I'm building my foundation and you're allowed to be able to branch off of that and it does take time and you have to show up consistently and be there every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, so now that there's like this cross section between beauty and wellness in today's world,
Hmm.
where do you see it going? Like, where do you see like the beauty and wellness industry going? Because I feel like it's like merged together.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know almost the difference between the two, which is kind
Right.
of concerning at the same time.
Well, the problem is right now we have all of these trending GLP-1s and all the new weight loss things. And I'm not knocking them. I think they're great, especially it's life-changing for people that have severe underlying comorbidities. It is very helpful.
Mm,
NAD, which is also considered another natural supplement, but is now being injected. I think
yeah.
what's going to happen and where we're seeing it go is it's going to be coinciding still holistically wellness and also what is out there cosmetically. And I think
Mm,
that they're just going to continue to just have babies together and kind of like work around each other and that aspect because we are giving a lot of supplementation for hormone replacement therapy and there are pellets that are still natural that you can do to lose the weight that are healthy for you and that will help women with menopause as opposed to injecting yourself with a needle every day, but
yeah.
it's really I think it's just going to be targeted now on whatever side and then just kind of be like a spinning door to what holistically and wellness can help aid that I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of one-stop shops now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I need to ask you this question. What are your like some of your absolute like favorite uh beauty like tools, like maybe
Oh,
non-toxic brands? Like
oh,
what are your faves?
so one of my favorite tools that everybody can use, and I'm actually making a video on this, is a high frequency machine.
Mm.
That helps kill acne, bacteria. It helps with fine lines and wrinkles. Max, I'm so sorry. He's
Your
crying to
pup?
death.
Hi,
Yep. Come
Maxie.
here. Get over here. Come, come here. Can you come here? Sorry. Um,
That's okay.
high frequency machine. And it helps with like hair growth. There's a comb for it. And that's absolutely one of my favorite tools. And again, like once I teach all my clients that, because it's a handheld device. Yes,
Mm,
we learned it in aesthetic school, but it's very easy to put your finger on the bulb and do contact, no contact. And it helps with like if you suffer from severe cystic acne and you're having like one of those really big ones coming on because your period's coming, it definitely helps before you can get to me. And it also just helps in general with glow and fine lines and wrinkles and anti-aging. And it's a great tool. It's nothing that's expensive and people can use it at home.
ooh, love that.
Yeah.
And do you have some favorite like non-toxic like beauty brands?
Oh my God, I love Hale and Hush. They're absolutely
Okay.
amazing. For anyone who has rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, has very sensitive skin, who's pregnant, not pregnant, it has just tons of water. It has tons of hydrating antioxidants. It has no parabens. It's paraben free. One of my favorite makeup lines, if you're someone that suffers from breakouts or is just really sensitive and doesn't like a lot of makeup, is Tarte. I absolutely love them. They're non-comedogenic. They're paraben free. they're vegan, so those are two of like my top. Glymed's absolutely amazing if you want a little bit more of an advanced like medical route where it's still, like medical, but it's got clean ingredients in it. You're not going to be putting any crap in in your body with your skin. And Primally Pure is great. I love them.
I am obsessed with Primally Pure.
Yeah, I absolutely love them. I actually just listened to a podcast the other day. I think she was on the somebody's that I was listening to, and I actually listened to how she built her brand, and it was
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
it's cool.
yeah,
I
I
always love to
absolutely love
learn
her
about
stuff.
those things.
Yeah, yeah.
Product, I will say too, and I'm sure you can agree with this, but like I have physical products. That's not the bulk of my business, but
Yeah.
physical products is a different beast.
Oh yeah.
It's a different business. So
Yeah.
if you guys
I airdrop
um
ship. I don't spend like if you're someone that thinks you need to have a whole retail store, you don't because
yeah,
we use third party places like these two, and they're on my storefront. And if I have a
yeah,
one-on-one consultation with somebody and they need a whole regimen, or I
yeah.
see them, I'm like, boop, just order right to your house. You don't know. We
That's
could do
so much
yeah, we
easier.
could do samples. We could do all the things for you. So it's
Yeah.
not, you don't have to be overwhelmed with spending 500 on like these name brand things that are going to honestly be bad for your skin anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Well, okay, so as we wrap up, are there any words of wisdom you would like to leave the listeners?
Any words of wisdom? Keep fucking going. Just keep going, all those days where you feel like you have, imposter syndrome and you're like, shit, I don't want to do this, just wake up and just, even if it's you write one thing out and you get one task a day done, just keep going because if I stopped every time I failed, I wouldn't be here. We both wouldn't be here, right?
Yep.
Fail forward. That's another one I love. And
Yep.
that's really it. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So, Steph, where can people find you?
You could find me on my Instagram page at the Skin Jeanie _ with a J. And you can find me on my Facebook page that's linked there. All of my social media accounts, my TikTok is linked on everything. If you go right to my Instagram, my link tree is right there. If anybody wants a one-on-one consultation, if you have no clue what you should be using, just book a call. I don't charge for that. And
Yeah.
then we set you up with what you need. Sometimes we as women, we go through changes, especially when we're pregnant, when we're gonna have a baby, after a baby, having, a wedding, being stressed out, our skin changes. So if you just need to know what moisturizer you should be using, just go right there and I'll be able to answer you.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so good to see you.
You too. We'll see each other in chat soon.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a review. It really, really helps the podcast. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.